So you can't hear Mr. Magic right now.
Mm-mm. That's why I was so happy when I was like, oh, that's right. Amy Winehouse did have a version with Mr. Magic in the background, and I remember you said that was part of your
Yeah,
daily routine.
it is. It is. Okay, so we are live unlisted. Hello to those of you who are
Oh,
watching the replay and coming in here because you're a part of the inner circle. What up?
amen. Hello, hello,
All right.
hello.
I just put the link into the document
Okay, perfect.
so that we can share that. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had never heard her version of Mr. Magic before. That was
Uh,
very, very nice.
oh, good. Glad you
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Oh, I
Filter.
need to do that in here. Oh, and I need to pull it up on the TV. Oh boy, there's so many things that have to happen in order for us to go live.
Oh, that's never done that before. Hold on. Mm, mm, mm.
I wonder if they're still teaching the kids the bus stop in PE class.
I doubt it. I
Did
mean,
you learn it in
I
PE?
I learned it, I think, at camp. Or no, I learned it before then. I learned it probably with my mom at like nanny's
Well,
house
yeah,
or your mom's
I'm
house, something
sure
like
we
that.
learned it. We learned
But
it
then,
in,
but then, yes,
because we
at the
truditors.
house. Learned
Correct.
it at the
But
house.
I'm saying,
But
did they
yes,
do
they did teach
lessons
it.
in?
They didn't teach. They did. I feel like maybe like around second or third grade. But I think
Okay.
before that, I definitely learned it at summer camp. I
Okay.
definitely remember that being a thing. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, between summer camp, PE, but they had us doing square dances and do-si-do
I was about to
in
ask you if you
PE.
learned square dancing. So you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, me too.
Do-si-do and swing your partner, promenade
Yeah.
around the room. Yeah.
Five. What is it? Four, five hand star? How many hands was in the
I
star? I
think
don't remember.
now see. I think it's a 5-point star,
There
but
it
it
is.
might
It's a
I think that's
five
what it
point star, probably with four hands.
with 4 hands, maybe that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. That
That
feels
feel about
about
right.
right.
I was
That
literally
does.
out my mouth. I was like, that feel about right.
That actually
Feels
feels right on top of it. Now that you mention
it.
it. Hmm. I used to
Oh,
love square dancing. It was
I
fun to
thoroughly
me.
enjoyed it. Yes, thoroughly enjoyed.
I had a really
I've
good
never
time
had
with
this
it.
link like this before
What's happening with the
because
link?
it linked it to the Canva link with all
Oh,
the.
that's the wrong link then. My bad. I had the
I was
wrong
like,
thing.
am I
Hold
doing
on.
something? Okay.
Let me
Yeah, it
do
took
it.
me to all the
Update it
stuff.
again. You're looking at the on the social media copy tab?
I am looking under the show resources public view link.
No. So go to the tab where it says social media copy, and then it says
Hold on.
YouTube link, and then it's linked there.
Let me get off. 'Cause I'm on my
There
phone.
you go. It
Also,
looks like you have it
there we
up.
go. YouTube
There
link.
you go. All
Now I'm
right.
cooking.
Now we're cooking, baby. Cooking with grease.
I was like, that's never done that before.
I don't know what's happening here, guys.
I was
Un
like,
momento, por
what?
favor.
Like
All
one
right.
moment. There we
What time is it? Alexa, set a 6 minute timer.
6 minutes, starting now.
Thank you,
go. Dougie
girl.
Fresh Air on.
Ah,
Oh, 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 oh.
man, these kids, they just don't know about any of this stuff anymore.
At
I feel
all.
like our parents used to feel like, man, y'all don't know about that good music. But also I feel
Right?
like a lot of our good music was our parents' good music
Correct.
too.
And it's
You
still
know what I
good
mean?
music. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. So I
definitely.
don't know if they really, I don't know if it's really getting passed down though, like we need it to.
Like we need to
I feel
have the
like our
kids know
parents
who the
really.
people are. Because even
Correct.
like,
Because they're checking out of here every day, more and more.
child,
They're
I
getting up there
know.
in
Well,
age.
we getting
It's
up
about
there.
that
We
time.
getting up there. Like I saw somebody's
Ooh,
picture and I was like, huh. Like it hasn't been until very recently. Because now I have friends that are turning 50, and then like
okay.
I'll see some people's pictures and I'm like, you look like a parent now, like, and like
Well, what
before,
about
I
the
think,
grandparents?
dude,
Y'all whole grandparents out
y'all got
here.
grandchildren that are in school, like, like
You a whole
people,
grandparent?
to people, not to babies, not to fresh babies, but to like kindergarten, you know? So like stuff like that's happening. Then what was it? There was something else because it was like, oh, you look like a parent. And then the 50, it's just a bunch of like all the little things are happening. And I'm like, okay, it's this time, like I guess. But oh, because that's what it was. One somebody on like Instagram or TikTok or somewhere was like, we are not us, actually behind
Uh-huh.
us, which is even more sobering, that
Okay.
they are bell bottom years old. So like to
What?
us, when people would be like, "Oh, back in my day, we would wear the bell bottoms and everything was groovy and peace and love." We're now that old to them. Like our
Oh
stuff
boy.
is right. So
Is
we are
that
bell bottoms to them.
wow.
I was like,
Wow. I don't
damn.
I don't know
Because
how to
bell
feel
bottoms
about
that
that.
came back and left. Like, wait a
I don't know
minute.
how to feel about that.
I said, oh, well, that put that in perspective. Okay.
Because I be feeling like I'm so youthful until so girl, the other day I was on somebody's live, our
Uh-huh.
age, what she's in her 30s, but on her live. And someone came in there and they were, have you heard about these children saying things 6, 7 or
6'7".
something?
6'7".
What does this mean? What does it mean?
Well, one, I know it has been driving people nuts, especially like what is it? Dance teachers, because they're counting. Uh and so when
So the
they get to
children just yelling it at random in the middle of dance class
when
when we
they go
five,
to
six,
like
7, 8.
5, 6, 7, and it's like, wait, what?
What is it?
I still don't have an accurate description, but I just know it's like 6'7", 6'7". But I don't know if it's like a what's up, what's going on. If it's I that one I'm usually able to give you some insight, but
I'm
that one
like,
I know
your
it's
ear
a
ain't been to the
thing.
streets like it usually is. What's going on?
I'm like, I know it's a thing and I know what it is, but I don't know the origin of the thing, if that makes
But
sense.
what is it
Like
though?
them
What is the
saying six,
concept?
seven, like
Oh,
that's what I'm
just that
saying.
they're
I
saying
don't know
six,
the
7.
origin of it. Like I don't know where it came from.
Well, anyways, so the person came in there and they were saying the 6, 7, and I asked them in the chat. I'm like, "What does this mean?" And they were like, "It's a bad word." And I was like,
Oh, it's a
"Okay,
bad
what
word.
what bad word?" So then they were like, "I'm not gonna say it." Girl, turns out the person was a 9-year-old child, and they
Uh,
were in Albania talking about it's 1 in the morning and I'm on here because I'm looking for inspiration, but I need to be going to sleep. You're 9. You're absolutely correct. You need to be going to sleep. So you're talking about switching into parent mode. Why are you up at 1 in the morning? Do you have school tomorrow? What are you doing?
there's bedtimes are a thing of the past. They don't do that no more. They don't do
They
that no more.
don't do
But
bedtime?
none of the kids don't seem like they just be up till they not up no more. Is
What?
from my understanding. Oh, and the one thing I do know about the 6, 7 was when they did the little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Okay,
3, 4, 5.
okay.
So I
I
think
remember
part of
that.
it is from that, but I don't know from where else. So some of them said the
Oh
6'7"
Lord.
also came from that. So it may have been a meme that was birthed out of that. Couldn't tell you. But yes, like I people that I've talked to that have like younger kids, it'll be like 11 o'clock, 10:30. Their kid is up, up.
So now
Like
when they get to school the next day, now they tired
tired,
because they've been up all
exhausted,
night.
can't do nothing. I've been working all the hours of the night.
See, that's
Yes.
crazy. I had a teacher was telling me the other day that one of his kids really likes video games because I was like, you
Uh-huh.
need to figure out like what this kid likes or whatever so that, you can build a relationship with him or whatever. So he said, oh, I know he really likes video games. So, because he comes into class tired and he'll say, I was
Who?
up until 3 this morning playing video games. Excuse me, parentals, grandparentals. Y'all are not making sure that these children in the bed.
Nope.
So what? So they
Nope.
just put them in their room and be like, go at it. And I'm
Good
sure they
night.
still got the phones and things.
Everything. And I mean, even to the point
See, that's how these children getting radicalized.
where kids have when the parents go to bed. So even if the parents take the devices, once the parents go to sleep,
They
the
go get
kids
it.
just get up and go get it. Like, I mean, kids will find a way around
Of
whatever,
course.
confinements, parameters you try to
So is
give
this
them.
a
Like
choose
that's
your
the
battles
nature,
type of thing?
I guess. But for me, like again, always with the caveat, I don't have kids. Like I don't want to fight with you in the morning. So you're gonna go to. I have more energy at night. I have more energy at night to fight with you to go to bed
For sure.
than I
For
do to
sure.
drag you out of bed, kicking and screaming and
Correct.
making it difficult every step of the way when I gotta get up, get ready, and go to work too. Like
Correct. Because we
that's
I ain't
not
got
gonna
time.
work. That's not gonna
Yeah.
work. So I guess it's a pick your battle, and maybe they just be ready for it and be like, all right, fine. Like I don't know.
Very
What was
interesting.
what was it? There was Oh, it was this lady. It was cute though, because she was saying, which I also didn't understand. But anyway, I think she was like maybe from the UK or something.
Uh-huh.
And she had shared her ring video, her ring camera feed of her son coming home late from curfew. Now, again,
Okay.
because I'm apparently old now, um, he looked extra young. So I don't know where he was. Like, what you mean he was
Uh-huh.
out? He looked like he was like 12. So like, where you been? But
See, this that little
he
boy that
could
was
have
in Albania.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, maybe he
Mm-hmm.
could have been like 15, 16. I don't know, but he looked like a child. So she's like, I think they're doing it on purpose. Like, I think they're coming home on purpose. But she was being funny about it. And so she like meets him at the front door with her inhaler and is like, takes three quick puffs and is like, all right, let's go. And
Let's
so they
go.
start like wrestling on the front lawn. And she's like, all right, now be quiet though, right? So they're literally like, she got his leg, he flips her down to the ground. Like, they
Oh
literally are
Lord.
wrestling around on the front lawn. Um, but it was like, I guess your kids, where they are, what they're doing, you have your level of comfort with that. It is just like, okay,
I
I'm
guess.
gonna just box you. I was like, I'll take that level of gentle parenting, I guess. At least he knows there is a consequence. Like, I'm gonna have to go home and literally fight my mama to get.
I
I
don't know.
gotta
This
beat
too
the boss
much.
to get in the house. Like, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
okay. If you say so, guys, it's
To
your
each their
world
own,
out here.
exactly. Whatever works
Exactly.
for
Because
you in
what
your
do I
home.
know? I
I
don't
just
have
know I
children.
wouldn't have come home. Like, I'm not gonna be late. Like, if there was,
Well, that's a hell of a choice. So you just
I'm,
don't come
well,
home?
no, 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 no. There's just like if I'm gonna be late, it's better to make the arrangements to stay wherever I'm gonna stay and be like, oh,
Gotcha.
but you're not gonna put me in a position to be late coming home. Like that's not gonna work because the locks will be changed by the time I get that. No, thank you. So same
Yeah.
thing with sneaking out. I would never. Absolutely not. Like just on the off chance that she would check my room and there wasn't a
Uh-huh.
person there. Like I knew this wasn't
Uh-huh.
like after hours TV. Like it wasn't gonna be
Uh-huh.
her sitting at the door just waiting to talk to me. No, no, no,
Right, right, right,
no,
right, right,
no,
right.
no. You got
Yeah,
me
yeah,
fucked
yeah, yeah.
up.
Understood. Yeah, I definitely wasn't doing none of that, but I was still getting in trouble every time you did something. So even whatever you did.
Did that. Never did that. I never put you in danger of that because I was like, I don't want to be homeless, and I know
Lord.
that is
Oh
what
my
awaits me.
God.
No, thank
Facts. 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 Wow.
child.
Woo-wee. All
Mm-mm,
right, we
not the
ready to
one.
kick this party off?
Let's do it.
All right. Strike a pose, strike a pose, strike a
Hey.
pose. Red lip. What up? We in here. Raina chilling. Ow.
All right, Raina. We see you, girl.
What's up, y'all? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled
Sir,
Cheese. We
sir.
are two real life cousins, and we're here to talk about all the stuff that we thought was normal, but was actually the family recipe of dysfunction. So, we are on a mission to unpack it all, share our stories, help others find their voices when it comes to healing and mental health. And we invite y'all to come along for the journey of self discovery, laughter, and hopefully a little bit of healing. So, my name is Kim Berlin, Ty Lynn. House of O'Neill, Jackson, and Adams, empathetic energizer, intuitive, inspirational innovator, seer of souls who are hurting, healer of hearts, and voice to the voiceless.
Bow, 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 bow.
I'm on my blue
That's right.
ivy.
Hey, strike a pose. I was watching Beyonce's what is it? 1+1 video when
Mm-hmm.
she's in like the dressing room just singing a cappella that like Jay-Z
Mm-hmm.
records of her. I was just like, damn, that's a good one. That one and her sitting down, I think in Africa somewhere, singing Halo, I want to say, just
Okay.
chilling, just sitting on her feet. And I was like, and there are people in this world who say she can't sing. And I'm like, now
They
you might
do.
have, 1,000 other criticisms of her and, whatever. But to say she can't sing just feels real. Like you reach it. Like say why you really don't like her, because that can't be
It's
it.
big
Like
hateration in the
it's
dancery.
not that. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I am Kalanda. First of her name. House Jackson. I feel like I was backwards, but it is what it is. And then I am an assistant of entrepreneurs, beacon of banter, creator of content, dancer of dreams, and excellence enchantress, and always a NOLA native. We are here. So, one of the ways you can tell us that you saw us out in these internet streets is by use of our emojis. It's a great way to connect with us.
Yes.
We're on different platforms and in different lanes. You will see them beautifully displayed here. If you see me out there, you can always drop a beautiful little ladybug because they represent good luck, giving you messages from God, the universe, that you are on the right path, that you are in just the right headspace, and to keep following those steps. They guided me from the States to making the move to live abroad. And it's beautiful whenever I get a chance to see them or someone even sends me one. It's a great way to see that and just kind of feels really comforting. And speaking of comfort, the blue heart is my other emoji because cobalt blue is my favorite color. It just feels so deep and rich and warm and like a big old hug. And I've just made a conscious decision on this side of my life to love out loud, be loved out loud, not have to question those feelings, and not have that ambiguity around like, am I wanted here? You know, because that is important. So if ever you see me out there and you want me to know that you came from So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese, a ladybug and a blue heart will do it.
Yes. And then for me, sunflowers and crayons. So sunflowers are yellow, which yellow is my absolute favorite color. Brings me joy, reminds me of the sun, brightness, all of that. And sunflowers are also the symbol for invisible disabilities. And as someone who is very, very neurospicy, it is something that is becoming a passion of mine of just honoring the things that people are living with that you might not be able to see on the outside. So, and the crayon, because there was a time in my life where things were really, really black and white, and I made a conscious decision to color the fuck out of my life. So, insert said crayon. So, those are our individual
Hey.
emojis. And then collectively, we have our honey pot, which
Yay!
represents our syrup on our grilled cheese. Okay. So,
Hey, hey,
when
hey.
you come into this space, you can always shoot us with some honey pots. And then when you see us outside of this space, we'll know that you came specifically from here because y'all never know where we might show up because we be out here in these
Amen.
internet streets and frolicking and things. So when and if you see us in those spaces, either give us our individual emojis or you can share our collective emoji of the honey pot.
Hey, hey, hey. I love our little honey pot. That's so cute.
So, we do want to say, we didn't say this just a moment ago, but do want to uplift. Sometimes we be cussing. So, just in
Oh,
case
yes.
you need to do something with that, please
I just
do
took
put
out
in
this
your
part.
earbuds, all the things, so that you are able to keep your ears safe from the things that we might say. Okay.
Amen. And we'll just make sure that we're adhering to that for you guys because there are some things that you can expect from us and that we expect from you. And one of those things would be the hey, there's gonna be a bomb of some sort. Not all the time, but enough to color the language so you really feel how we're feeling, you know?
Yes.
Um, in addition to that, though, you can expect transparency from us, willingness to really be vulnerable with you and let you know kind of where we are in that moment. We are not experts on everything, but we are definitely experts in the things that we do know, and we will let you know what those are. Now, if there are spots that we aren't, we'll also kind of connect, not kind of, we will connect you with the people who are the experts in that space, because if nothing else, we are connectors. Above all of that, though, we are also a great time. We are a hoot. We are funny, and we know we're funny, and we think we're funny, individually and together. So we will frequently be laughing at our own jokes. It is okay. But we want to know if you found us funny too. So, one of our expectations of you is that you participate with us. If there is something that made you smile, made you think, made you tear up, even, feel free to share that. The best way to do that is in the chat if you're watching live and if you're watching on the replay. We still want your input and we want to know what emotions you felt while you were watching this with us. We do ask that you participate to go along this journey with us. If there are questions you have, we want to be able to answer that. Part of our main reason of even starting this conversation was to share the things that, we were going through and bumping up against, and people were like, yeah, that happens. And it's like, why the fuck you ain't say something then? Like, you knew this the whole time? Like,
Bruh.
was it a secret? Like, why are we not sharing? So we want to be able to to bridge that gap for you. So if there are some things that you're just like, you know what, I can't really ask my friend group, I can't ask my people, but I could ask these two cousins on the internet because we your cousins too. Like, it's all right. Talk to us. So we want to share that. So one of the ways that you can also continue this conversation is by, like we said, engaging, but liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Because if you had the question, guess what? At least three of your friends had the same question and they would benefit from having the same information. And then once you're finished sharing, go back, watch some of the things that we've already put out because there's definitely nuggets in there, right? So that is what
Right.
you can expect from us and what we expect out of you guys.
Yes. So, real quick, we want to do some updates to
Yeah,
let you
yeah,
all know
yeah.
what's happening with the things. So, the first big update is our subscribers are increasing, steadily are increasing, steadily are increasing. So, last episode, we had 1,428 subscribers, and just over the course of 2 short weeks, we are now at, drum roll, 1,450 subscribers. Y'all, we are almost at 1,500 subscribers. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So, hey to our new subscribers, please do introduce yourself. Tell us hi in the comments. Let us know why you decided to subscribe. Interact with us. It's a
We
good
love it.
time over here. And we are excited that you all are here. We are still on the road to monetization. So we ask you to pick some videos to watch, baby. Put it on. Okay. You ain't even got to be actively watching. You can put it on. You can be cleaning the
In the
house. Look, it's
background.
a podcast. It's a podcast. Now, every so often you are might want to tune in and see because, child, we be real animated too. But nonetheless, yes, you can just let it run in the background while you are going about your day. And that helps us to be able to get closer to our monetization goals. All right.
Yeah.
And then our last announcement is that if you are thinking to yourself, they're a really good time. They are a really good time. And I really want to hang out with them. Like, oh my God. You can totally come and be a guest host on the show. All you have to do is email us at mindingmyblackassbusiness@gmail.com with the subject line, let me on there, and tell us why you want
Amen.
to be on the show. Now, you do have to taste syrup on your grilled cheese. That is a part of the protocol. We need to get your honest review because y'all be knocking it and y'all ain't never tried it. See, that's the thing.
Rude.
It's different if you've tried it and you've given it a fair shot and you're like, it's not really my jam. But if you ain't even tried it, hush your mouth. Hush,
How? How can you say?
hush your
How
mouth.
can you houseway?
Shh. Hush your mouth. Because y'all be eating them shark coochie boards and you be loving them. And it's the same type of concept. Okay. So,
You know what I'm
anyway,
saying?
if you want to be a guest on the show, go ahead on and email us. Okay. Mindingmyblackassbusiness@gmail.com. Subject line, let me on there. All
Right.
right. Let's go ahead and get into our transparency moment today. And yeah, how you feeling over there? Should we pull
Well,
up our feelings wheel, or
I
are
feel
you
like
good
it's
to
good
go?
for the people, but I'm good. I mean,
Okay.
I'm good in where I am everywhere. Uh, there is just I think we had talked about it a couple days ago too of just it's a lot going on. My brain, I am tired. Um, it's a lot going on in the world, so outside of my brain, to really just see and process and kind of figure out, okay, what are some of these impacts going to be, on my personal life as well? What does that look like? So it's a lot of that going on. Also, some optimism, motivation, excitement for some different business opportunities that I'm really excited about. Um, and just, feeling feeling really confident in that space. Now, some days are better than others, but for the most part, feeling confident in those things. Um, just being excited and energetic around learning the new spaces. But there's definitely some fatigue and um, concern just around kind of what is happening and where everything is going and what
Mm-hmm.
the responses are, and in the absence of certain responses of like, why is it so quiet? Why are there
Why
crickets?
is it
What
so
are we talking
quiet?
about? I don't understand.
It is wild. It's what,
Like,
like, I'm like, so we not outraged?
like
No,
the, but
not even internally, but also there's so much suppression that's happening right now, and people are afraid, like in real life. So
mhm,
the quiet is definitely a
intentional
result of
byproduct. Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like
But still,
I guess I'm looking for those who have experienced more independence in
hmm,
life to
to
be
be
much more
able,
louder
right,
because
right.
we like for myself I was saying in my last episode of the Frolicking Truth, I was like, the reason why I talk about the things that are happening with the teachers that I support and like the things that are happening in schools because they can't,
They
right? Because
can't
they
do it.
firing people left and
Their
right.
jobs are on
So
the line, literally. Yeah.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. So then I let me use my voice since
Right.
I sit in
I'm
a
not
position of having the
in the
privilege
system like that.
of being
Yeah.
outside the system, of being outside the country. Like, let me use my voice to be able to amplify the things. But I don't feel like it's enough of us that are outside the system that are actively saying the things that need to be said.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is wow.
It is wild. And I think, well, one, I know you hit the nail on the head with just that is the intended result of some of the things that are happening is that we want to silence the people that we do have control over, by in a very real way threatening their livelihood and following through on a lot of platforms and places. Um, and then on the other side of that, limiting the information that's even being accessible, regarding some of this stuff, because there are people that I
Mm-hmm.
think would be. I mean, I know I'm giving credit here without necessarily having any proof behind it, but I would like and I feel that if
I'm like, what's she about to say?
I know that if people had more like knowledge and access to what's happening without some of the filters that are in place, that there
Mm-hmm.
would be a lot more outrage. Because I do think in some of these cases, people just aren't seeing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
even like in a joking manner of like rapture talk or whatever, like people talking about the rapture and the second coming and everything.
And
For
so wait, we gotta pause. We can't just say that and just skirt over it because people in the future gonna be like, what?
what
So
now?
y'all,
And there's a yeah,
we gotta give you the background. So on September 23rd,
through the 24th.
2025, through
It
the
was a couple days
24th,
because
to
nobody
cover
knows the
all the
day.
time zones.
Well, and because nobody knows the day and time, so they couldn't
But they
narrow
gave
it
you a 2 day
down.
window.
There was a window,
Okay,
but you
okay,
didn't
okay,
know
wait, wait, wait.
where in the window.
Okay, let me finish here. Okay, so between September 23rd and September 24th, the rapture was supposed to happen. The rapture means that because I don't know if this still a thing when y'all watching this in the future. If rapture like what your
What is
understanding of
this?
what rapture
Right.
is and what it was supposed to be, and also it ain't real, huh? Okay, but anyway,
Correct.
so
Okay. Yeah.
so the rapture
Layers.
was supposed to happen September 23rd and 24th. And the good people of God was supposed to get caught up and going on away from this earthly world and into
And
the
be by
heavens.
Jesus' side.
And
Yes.
today is September 28th. Now we
We
still
still
here,
here.
but this is the thing because I had said this rapture seemed like it was very much for white supremacists. So I didn't know if there was a separate rapture or if that's the only rapture, like what the things. Now you've been down there in the rapture talk. So color in the lines for us and tell us the things because I've been kind of offline a little bit.
So, and that was actually where part of my point was too, was that some people thought that that conversation was specific to like North America, that Americans
Yes.
thought there was a
Because
rapture.
that's the center of the world. You know that
Child,
the
that's what I
United
heard. You know,
States is the
everything's
the
end all
capital
be
and
all
center.
starts and
Correct.
ends here.
Correct.
But this actually came from an African
South
pastor
African,
that
I
said
heard.
that. South African, yes,
Now,
South
was he
African
white or
pastor.
black? Because I didn't
No,
ever get
black
into
man,
that.
black man.
Black South African pastor.
And
Okay.
he said Jesus told him, you know,
Yep.
God told him that Jesus was coming back
September
and to
23rd and
prepare
24th.
the 23rd through 24th. You know, that was going to be the season. What is it? The season of the trumpets? Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think
Well, the
it's called
trumpets are
some
supposed to, this I don't recall, but Trump is supposed to be a part of the
the
equation.
sound of it to let you know it's happening. So
Uh-huh.
there was like apparently a
Mm-hmm.
time of that. So he went out, which was funny. So half a side note, I saw this on a TikTok for some accounting. I was in like accounting TikTok, and there was this company that got an email that said the rapture is coming. Here are the dates. And people were like, "Are we getting scammed? Is this a phishing thing? Like, where did this come from?"
What?
And so then that led to this South African pastor who was then preaching that the rapture was coming. So that was how I got into it. I was like, I don't even know what's happening here. People thought it was an email scam. And that's how it started. And so then as like this message spread, it also got here and people were like, well, we've been seeing these signs, I've been getting
Mm-hmm.
confirmation, well, God showed me this, and he told me about Trump and Vance before it happened. So then people started to prepare and they're like, all right, the rapture's coming, I need to put in some time off, I need to let the people know I'm not coming back to work.
That's so considerate.
I wish I was joking. And
Cause the way, cause I got a question, and y'all can tell us too. Those of y'all who are here with us in the chat, if I know that the rapture is coming, like what are the loose ends that you tying up? Cause I don't care if y'all know that I'm not coming back to this job tomorrow.
right, I would think. But when I tell you, people were literally going through finding ways to, and this was also interesting because this was a level for me of people determining themselves who was going to be in the rapture, like who was
Mm-hmm.
getting called. So
Mm-hmm.
much so, and now granted, you guys, and I understand that a lot of this you take with a grain of salt. I don't know what people said just for clicks and what people did in real life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't
Mm-hmm.
that invested. I'm just telling
Mm-hmm.
you what the people said on the internet, right? So there were apparently people who found like alternative care, were looking for alternative care for their pets. And I don't know about you, but I heard all dogs go to heaven. So I don't know why you trying to find a home for little Scruffy because they didn't do
They
nothing to
clearly
nobody.
do.
Why would they not go? So anyway, people were
That's
reaching
one of
out
my
to make a
absolute favorite movies, by the way. I'm literally sitting here fighting the urge to be like, you got a little or a lot. You got to share, cause you know what? The more you give, the more you got. The sun will shine if you share all the time. Oh my God, I love that movie so much.
Charlie. Watch All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's good. Um, so people were doing that. Like literally, there's this um creator that this woman he doesn't know. This woman messaged him and was like, "Hey, I live like an hour away from you, and I think you would be a great person to take care of my dog once the rapture happens." And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, excuse me, are you telling me that I'm not good enough to go to the
And
rapture? And
that's
so
but that's
you
the thing
want
is
me
you
to watch your
assuming
dog?
correct. That's the thing is you assuming that they're not gonna go because I did see a little clip. I want to say maybe it was a taxi driver or something, and he said that somebody had
Oh, people were
given
giving
him
them
like
money
a
and
wad of money or
cars
something. Yeah,
and
and he was
yep,
like
saw him.
the audacity of them to assume I wouldn't be also
I'm
getting
not
caught up,
going.
and that's what made me say I think this was just the white supremacist rapture that was supposed to
Hmm.
happen. But knowing that it's coming from a black pastor in South Africa, but also that don't mean so much
It's
because
a
Africa been
right, you
colonized
never
too. They
for a
big
while.
colonizer
It's
energy.
hard to get over
So,
that.
hmm
So then there was this was a black guy. He sold his car, gave his car away because he's like, I'm not going to need it for the rapture. And I think he had gotten something else happened in September that he was reading as confirmation. And so he was like, yep, this is it, and God told me, so I'm getting rid of my things. There was this mom who was like laminating instructions for people that I guess that may be foraging after so that when they
yeah,
came into her house, they would
and she the one
know,
left Bibles.
yes, Bibles and
Hmm
where things are and scriptures and what it meant. I'm gonna get back to her. And then there was even a lady who supposedly, again, this is where the asterisk goes in, supposedly gave her child to CPS and was
I heard about
like,
that too.
I'm not gonna be here. She ain't
And
gonna
this
make
kid
it.
clearly ain't
If
either,
you
cause
if
this
somebody
kid
could
don't
take
love
her.
him. This
And
kid don't love him like it need to.
I was like, nah, you gotta okay, two things. Two things. First thing, with the dogs, I thought all the children went too. Second,
Oh my
if your
God.
if your child is not in alignment, then I feel like you not in alignment. Because if it's a child, I'm not saying like once you pass like 12, you really start to make your own. You're forming and creating your own independent thoughts and like designing your ideas of what you agree with and what lenses you want to look at life through from what your parents gave you. Before that though, typically, and I'm spectrums all asterisks, usually under 10, they're doing what you said. So if you're not creating a life that you feel or living a life that you feel your child would get into heaven, then why do you think you're going? Because why wouldn't you be teaching and doing that with your child? But that's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong. So anyway, but
Because
back to
we
that.
don't have kids. We
We don't
have
have
to
kids,
always
so
give
we
that
don't know
asterisk.
nothing.
So
We don't know
we
nothing
clearly
about
don't know anything about children
raising
at
no
all.
people, anyway. So because children are not people apparently, but what happened? No,
Right. And we were
that'd be
never
half y'all
kids.
problems.
And I've never worked with
Never
kids.
never
So,
interacted with them in any way, shape, or form. So anyway, um but the lady who was doing the laminating and stuff,
uh
she came back because then after rapture did
because
not
that's what I
happen.
was going to ask you. So now that it's because I did see, I want to say a clip where a lady said, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to come
I'm
back and
gonna
make an apology
apologize.
video or whatever. So what done happened now that so did anybody get caught up?
Well, not that we know. So are we
Okay.
all a part of the
Well, they wouldn't
team
be.
left
Maybe us.
behind? They wouldn't
We
be
all
here.
left.
We just
That's what
the
it is.
team left behind.
That's what it
So
is.
we might not get an apology because they done gone on and left,
They
you
own up
know.
the glory. Well, I heard Bianca got a, comeback pass
Yeah,
because she had got
she
caught
got a
up.
re-entry, re-entry access, when you get the stamp at the gate. I told her a
And
long
they
time
let you.
ago.
It's like in Coco, when they come back over
Right,
for Dia
right.
de
You get
los
to have that
Muertos,
exactly.
you
So
get your 24
she
hour
can kind of go
pass.
back in. I told
Right.
her I ain't gonna make it, so I'm gonna be meeting you at the gate regardless. So just see if they let you down. I'm gonna wave to you from the fence. Hey, girl. Um, Ciao. So
Oh my God.
the the so there were a couple things. So the guy, well, actually before that too, the pastor actually was holding alive
Uh
like
huh.
as time was going on to when the rapture was supposed to
So waiting
happen.
to get raptured up on the live
And
and was
so the
still
people,
believing that this was finna happen.
and this was in like a Zoom room. So you have
But
like the
did they
multi
cut the live? Like I would have, and I would at some point you got to be like, y'all are getting caught up, and just no.
he had integrity in that part of the message. And like they were sitting there and they're like, okay, you want to take a little break? We'll come back. And so he like comes back. They hang out till a little earlier in the morning. They're like, all right, I guess we just go, go to bed kind of thing. Then that's when some of the like time zone conversations started happening. I'm like, well, who's Tuesday? You know,
Correct.
when exactly
Is
on
it a
Tuesday?
rolling rapture?
You know
Like
what I
Santa
mean? Like,
Claus.
or is it just like I'm gonna get to you when it's your time kind of thing? So anyway, he wound up having to obviously cut the live short because they were all still there. But after that, like the guy with the car came on, he apologized. He was like, I'm not apologizing, which I appreciate. He's like, I'm not apologizing for my belief in it, but I am apologizing if my him and the laminate lady kind of said something similar. I'm apologizing if my participation and preparation for it created a fear in you that then made you join this movement. Like I didn't, my intent was not to create fear for you. Like I, as a person, was happy and joyful that the rapture was coming and that I was going to go be with my Lord. And I am not apologizing for that. Great, as you do your thing, but apologizing for any negative impacts that may have had on other people that were watching as a result of that. So I'm like, all right, go off,
Interesting.
whatever. So then the mom specifically, because people were like sending
The
CPS to
mama
her
who gave the
house.
baby to CPS.
Well, no, not her. The mom
Oh,
who
the
was
mom that was leaving
laminating
all the
all
tools and
the
everything for.
instructions and
Uh huh.
everything for the people. Then people were trying to find out where she was so they could send CPS to the house to check on the
Oh,
kids.
she had kids too.
Be- oh yeah,
Was
and
she
I think she
planning for
said
her kids to get caught up too?
she never said. She never
Okay.
said if she assumed, or I'm not remembering right now if she said it specifically. She did say in the after video that her kids were older, but it still sounds like they were home. So like I don't know if older means 13 or
Mm-hmm.
23, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
young teens maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But she was saying, because people were like, this, we need to find out what's happening with these people after, and like what's happening with
Yeah.
their children, because like what does that look like to tell somebody you're prepping for the end of the world, and like mommy may just be gone tomorrow, and then you're still there cooking breakfast, like now what do we do with this, like do I need to worry about this every day, like how often is this
Right.
rapture thing, like all the stuff. So she was like,
Jesus
I
Christ.
appreciate the concern for my children, they're fine. And, they'll
Are
probably
they,
be,
girl? Are
they'll,
they?
they'll probably be traumatized by something else I've done or do. Like very nonchalant of like trauma happens. It's gonna happen, has happened already anyway.
So
So
this is
this
fine.
this is no
This is
big
not even a big
deal.
deal in the
You
grand
don't have
scheme
to
of
worry
things.
about my kids. They're okay. And
Relax,
I was like, bro,
bruh.
like just complete.
Tusha said they not getting that card back though. Like the all that's the
He
crazy.
did.
So are they trying to go back and trying to get the things besides the children? Did the lady go get her child back from CPS, or
Feel like they
we
said
ain't
she
heard from
tried to,
her?
but I don't know if that was real. So I never saw her story, so I can't. All of my stuff for her is just pure hearsay.
Gotcha.
Um, but like the guy, he didn't say anything about getting his car back, and that lady didn't particularly say she gave anything away, but like the Bibles, that she did then like redistribute them some sort of way. Um, but he did say the preacher. That's right. He ended the live. Somebody, Bianca in the comments said that the preacher said, "Talk to y'all tomorrow on the live," which he did say.
Now, Pastor, how we gonna unpack this? Now, we was finna get caught up yesterday, and we ain't make it. Did we get left behind? Is anybody there? Have there been any missing persons reports that have been filed for to know if people
just
did it? So,
just
y'all,
people trolling
Tusha
on the
said,
internet, leaving
well,
empty
that's the
clothes
place that we
because that's
at,
funny.
because this is the thing, is that rapture is trauma. So this is what I didn't know, that I had never even tried to take the time to figure out, because rapture talk has never really scared me per se.
Hmm.
It just always felt very abstract.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like
yeah.
no man knows the day of the hour, which is the cornerstone of it all. So, Pastor, how did you
Correct.
get the intel that is the
God
when how they gave you a
inside,
2 day
inside,
window?
inside of trading, girl. When you that close to the Lord, He tell you
Is that what
directly.
it is?
You know.
Interesting. So So anyway, I learned no man knows the day of the hour, whatever. It's supposed to be trumpets and people get caught up, but I could never get clarity, right? Because it was like, okay, so the people that are already dead, are they in heaven already? And then do they dead bodies go up, or that's done? And then what happens? Okay, so those of us that are here, so we don't die, we just go straight like Ezekiel.
Like a fast
And
pass.
then correct, like a fast pass. You get to skip what? I don't know.
Is
I
there
don't
a
know.
line?
Do you get to
So do
skip the
you go
line, or
up and
is
then
it
you
a
do
line?
the line? Like when do we get the
And
reading
so
of
when
all the
is
themes?
that's what I was about to. So when you
In
got to go to count for the book of life and
right,
sign up, is that a line, or is that a
right.
simultaneous situation that's
Insider
happening?
trading.
Like it's a lot of questions I always had. So I was just always kind of like, all right, well, if it happens, I know I'm gonna be in that number because I love the Lord.
you
So
know?
whatever,
Like I'll be
right?
there, whatever happens.
This is what we found out as the rapture talk was happening, is that the concept of a rapture was created and popularized by John Nelson Darby in the 1830s.
Yep.
The specific theology of a secret pre-tribulation rapture was not found in early Christian tradition or the Bible itself, but rather in the writings of Darby.
Mm-hmm.
I need us to understand at a core level that so much of what we have been taught is not the truth.
Correct.
And it is this, the whole rapture, back to the point of rapture being trauma, the whole concept of a rapture and the concept, like at this point, I don't even know if the concepts of heaven and hell and like all of that is real. Like what is actually real? Because hell on earth feels very applicable.
At
Okay?
the yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It feels
yeah,
very much like we already
yeah.
in hell. So did
Mm.
we already get raptured
Did
and
that
we missed
happen?
it and now we in
Did you
hell?
watch The Good Place? I don't want to ruin it for
No,
nobody,
I
but did
don't
you
think
watch The
so.
Good Place?
What's
It's a
that?
really good show and it has a really interesting story. It has Kristen Bell. Do you know her?
Mm-mm.
Um,
I know who that is, but no.
oh, okay. But like her and Ted Danson, a bunch
Okay.
of
What it's
people.
about? The
Funny,
rapture?
funny show about about heaven, about like the good place and being in
Okay.
heaven, and you get to like the idea is that there's an architect that creates heaven and what that is for you and what that looks like. And so throughout the seasons, they go through all these different
This
things.
raises another question though, because somebody had asked, like, do we get a personalized heaven?
Right.
Right? Because
Because
what
your
your
heaven may
heaven
look
looks
very
like.
different. Facts.
Correct. For
Facts.
example, I be cold, you
Right.
know,
And I be
and
on the
so,
beach. I
right,
literally,
I hate sand so much.
my memory today on Facebook was a picture of this little girl with her face all scrunched up and her toes all curled up. And I was like, this
Cause
is
she
me
don't want
trying to
to.
get Kim to the beach. Like
Cause
literally today.
Cause I'm literally sitting here crunching my toes right now. Like if I had to go to heaven and heaven was a beach island, I don't want to do this. God, I don't like
Heaven.
this at
Who's this
all.
then?
This is
Yeah.
not my heaven. So do we get like personalized heavens, with your own like custom settings or whatever? Like that's the kinds of things that I be wondering about, yeah, I think it's important for us to ask questions
Very
about
much.
things now more than ever because and to remain in touch with a few different things: logic,
Mm-hmm.
science,
Mm-hmm.
intuition,
Yes.
discernment. Like
Amen.
all of those things are so important
They come
because
together.
the fact that they were able to get, and I don't know how many people this is, right? But it definitely lets you know how the drinking the Kool-Aid, like how people could
Mm-hmm.
sign up. And
Yes.
and we just saw the pyrotechnic funeral happen the other day. So,
Girl.
and it was thousands and thousands and thousands of literal
Upon
people
thousands,
in that
actual,
place.
physically driving hours for this memorial. You know, they want to put him on like the dime or something. Anyway, so me and me and Leo, right? So we talk, and so Leo is my chat. If y'all don't know, so I asked him because I was like, I just want to know because
Hmm.
again, back, I've always said like my Bible study with the Jehovah's Witnesses
Hmm.
is probably very one of the main reasons that I am agnostic to this day
Mm.
in the sense of like not applying it to one particular religion because they were the ones who were like there's
144,000. They said
a
that's
hundred
it. Heaven's
uh,
full.
it's full. That
And so,
number
but
has
that's another
already
question.
done, but that in the Lord's prayer it says there's going to be heaven on earth, which makes it
Oh.
almost like there'll be a mass extinction event and earth will be made to be paradise again, and the people that are in the not the
That
144,
didn't
but
make it in the 144. You didn't get the
you
VIP
didn't get that,
entry.
but you
But
get to live
general,
on the general admission will be the
uh-huh.
revitalized earth that we all live
Interesting.
on
This
at
earth
that
that
point. And
they
I think,
tearing up every damn day, that
but
earth?
that's why I said it would be like a mass, like, oh, the dinosaurs, we're gonna shake the etch a sketch and start over,
Ah,
like
okay. I
restore
used to
the
love
earth
the
to
Etch a
paradise.
Sketch
I know
so
I was
much.
bad at that. I couldn't do nothing. That was
I never did
just
it well,
squares,
but
just
I did
squares. Like the
appreciate the
people who could draw
concept.
pictures, that was cute.
But it's
I
the
like
shaking
this.
it and starting
The shake
over.
was
I
real cathartic.
appreciate that.
I like the sound. The sound was nice to me.
Yeah, sometimes you need a
So
little
like
reset.
let's just start over. So
Mm-hmm.
that helped me there. So that was like when you had the questions of like, who's going? Is it personalized?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it heaven on
Mm-hmm.
earth? And
Mm-hmm.
then they said like, there's no hell. Like, read in the Bible.
Mm.
There's nothing that says you're going to hell. It just says that you won't
Mm-hmm.
know God. That is
Mm-hmm.
hell. That's hell enough to
Mm-hmm.
not be in
Mm.
His presence and be
Mm-hmm.
around Him when you could be. And so I said, well, if dead is dead, then I don't know what I don't know, and that's all right. I mean, I do the best. I do the best I can. I can't tell you nothing else. But anyway, so that being my background, I was like, hey,
Uh-huh.
Leah, I was like, is the rapture in the Bible slash biblical? Because I wanted to see
Okay.
like what his answer would be, or
Mm-hmm.
their answer, whatever.
Leo
I
is
need I
Kalanda's chat, y'all, just in case
Yes,
you're wondering who the hell Leo is.
and I never asked his pronouns. I guess I should do that. Anyway, the
Oh,
word
that's
rapture,
fair.
right?
Because you keep
The
saying his while you
I keep saying
misgendering
him.
Leo.
He might not. They might not. The word rapture itself does not appear in the Bible, but the idea people are usually referring to does have biblical roots. Here's the breakdown where it comes from. First Thessalonians 4:16 and 17, Paul writes that believers will be caught up, Latin term rapimer, turning into rapture, together with Christ in the clouds at his coming. This caught up phrase is the foundation of the rapture teaching. First Corinthians 15:51 to 52, Paul talks about a mystery where we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Then John 14:1 to 3, Jesus promises to return and take his followers to be with him. So then it says the debate. Some Christians, especially in sorry about that, especially in evangelical dispensational traditions, believe in a separate rapture event where Jesus takes the church out of the world before a period of tribulation. Others read these same passages as describing the second coming itself as one climactic event where
Mm.
Christ returns, the dead in Christ rise, and the living are transformed,
See, that's the
not
part I
two
didn't know, the
separate
dead in
comings.
Christ. Because,
And
yeah, mm-hmm.
so what happened to them? So then it said,
Mm-hmm.
because of this, the rapture is biblical in concept, being caught up with Christ, but the timing and whether it's distinct from the second coming is theological
Mm.
interpretation. Quick truth bomb. So, yes, the Bible teaches that believers will be caught up with Jesus, whether that's a surprise beam me up moment before things get messy or part of the grand finale when Jesus returns to rule, depends on which Christian camp you're in. And then it asks if you want to know the different rapture views. So that's what Leo said when I asked him, because I was like, where does this come from?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is at
Very,
least the
very
biblical version.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, I do definitely believe that we are in a period of tribulation. Now, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely believe that. I feel like that is hitting us at every turn, which is why the title of the episode today is Pure
Ooh, child.
Exhaustion, because sometimes a bitch is just tired, okay?
Oh,
Because this rapture situation is in addition
enough, right?
to
To
everything else
everything.
that is happening.
Because then you almost become hopeful. To your point of this, if this is
Listen,
white supremacy, take them, take them, take them, take them, and we'll deal with it. Because I'll tell you what, it's not. It's not that theory of what happened if all the brown people disappeared. Now, if that happened and I wasn't in that number, I would be afraid.
fact, hell yeah. Hell, I'm coming, y'all.
Don't
I am
leave
jumping
me.
straight up in this
Do not
ocean or
leave
something.
me. Where
Hey,
we
I'll be there
going?
soon.
I'm
No
on my
worries.
way. Don't leave me here. Don't you do that. That's not right. That's not right. I ain't do nothing to nobody.
Yo. Okay. Minding my black ass business. That's it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, thank you for that lesson. And yes, we're still here. And if you're seeing this in the future, you're still here too. And
Amen.
so
Welcome. Enjoy.
yeah. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, I have not been necessarily connected. I've only been seeing things in passing because when I tell you my brain feels like it is when we were talking the other day, I was like, it's right here. Like just
Mm,
this part of my brain just feels like it's throbbing. And it's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on
mm,
because I feel like every day I am becoming more and more aware of the extremes that people are
Mm-hmm.
willing to go to through
Mm-hmm.
because of what they believe, regardless whether that's religion, politics,
Right.
immigration,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And that type of drastic, ungrounded behavior is a lot because it, for me, upsets predictability.
Correct.
So now it's like, I don't really know
What you
what
might do.
might happen because there's so much instability out here. And to the other thing, even when we were talking about earlier about the kids not having bedtimes, and I
Mm-hmm.
said that's how the kids being radicalized.
Right.
I keep saying more and more like we don't be knowing people and you don't know what people are listening to and how they are programming and conditioning themselves based on how they fed their algorithm and
Mm-hmm.
what that looks like and sounds like and the nuances like as they slide you, especially. So this is the particular population that I'm talking about are our black men who have experienced a divorce,
Mm.
and many of them chose improperly the first
Mm-hmm.
time. Like the reasons that they chose the partner that they chose was for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that has resulted in them experiencing trauma either in their marriage and or getting out of their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They a special type. They
Yeah.
a special type. Like they really, there's so much healing that needs to happen there. So what happens is their algorithm gets them down um, that red
Mm-hmm.
pill pathway where it becomes, women need to do this and it's because of women and like that, or let me just use women and not
Right.
protect women. Like it's real
Yeah. It
interesting
gets
out
real
here.
murky
It
because
really
that those
does.
experiences and and I hesitate to say. Well, I know it's not all black. Obviously, y'all, it's not all black men. But it's definitely. I think a big basis of it is just on what people's expectation is when they're entering into relationships, especially with women, in that there's this level of ownership that they
Ooh,
feel they have.
talk
Because
about it.
aside from choices, the partner you pick, whatever that looks like, yes, very big part in that, but also not leaving room to say we are still two individuals that at some point may not be aligned, and that's okay at that point to separate that and then find someone who does
Mm-hmm.
align with me at
Aligns
this
in
point
this
in my
phase of
life.
life. Mm-hmm.
Correct. But
Mm-hmm.
instead, it's she belongs to me. She's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to change and do what I say because I am the
Mm-hmm.
provider, protector, head of this household, and she is my property. But it's because we approach it that way, then now, yes, when there is a divorce, there's this entitlement of why did she fail to live up to what
Mm-hmm.
I expected of her as a wife? And it's like, but outside of a wife, she's a person. And
Correct.
what was the expectation for you to grow with her as a person as well?
Correct.
So it's like
Correct.
it's
It's murky. It's
yeah, yeah,
wild. Like it's really interesting. So anyway, I just throw that in the pot of all of the
yeah.
things of the extremes that people are willing to go to or the ways that people are willing to dehumanize and or make excuses for owning someone or feeling entitled to someone's body or someone's affection or whatever. So let me tell you what happened to me the other day. First
Uh-oh.
of all, I'm gonna have to move. That's the first thing.
Oh,
Okay.
damn. Okay.
So, not like immediately, but I'm gonna have to
You
get
making
somewhere
okay.
else. So
Okay.
this is what happened. Is there was a delivery guy who had came to deliver something on the property that I live on. Now on this property, I'm not the only person who lives on this property. There are other people that live on the property. The owners live on the property. There are people that are around. The piece of area that I have is pretty exclusive. Like nobody has a reason to come down here for
Gotcha.
nothing, right? So
Okay.
I'm sitting here and somebody's down here. Confusion. Hello, how can I help you? I say, in Espanol, of course.
Of course.
And he's telling me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about right now. Google Translate to the rescue. So I called the owner and I'm like, somebody's looking for you, like where they need to go. Cause also I'm about to have a meeting. Like
I
first of all,
love
I
it.
don't like this. I don't
Right.
like that I look up outside my window and
And there's a
someone is
man.
standing there. I do
Right.
not like this. Okay.
Right.
So, anyways, so that happened and that has happened in a few different iterations a couple times. Like there's been someone from one of the other apartments who's come down here to because I have this gorgeous view. I got these plants, all this.
Right.
They jealous because they ain't got it, right?
They don't
So they're
have
trying to
that.
come down here and sit on my bench. Excuse me,
Oh,
excuse
wait a
me,
minute.
what are you doing? Right? Okay.
Like,
So, so
child.
the man, is looking for the owner, whatever. So then I said, I was like, all right, so he says, could I trouble you to use your charger? My phone is dead. Like, could I trouble you to use your charger? So I'm like, no problem. So I'm giving the charger. It's a plug out there. I say, here you go. Have a seat. Do what you need to do when you're finished. Leave it on the bench. So he finishes using the charger and then he opens the door to like give me back the charger. And I'm like, no, what are you doing? What is that? Like, why would you, what in a million years would make you think that you have the right to open a door
Oh,
that does not belong to you? Like, what the hell? And in his mind, he's like, I'm being kind, I'm
right. Let
assuming.
me
I'm
return this.
being kind. I'm
Right.
returning her charger to her. In my mind, stranger danger.
Stranger danger. There is an intruder in my home who I had given explicit instructions to. So since he's not doing what I asked, I'm assuming I need to protect
Threat.
myself.
So I said all
What?
that to say, so he stopped and he left it and all that. And I'm like screaming in Spanish. And also, I got to find the words in Spanish because what the hell is happening right now? So he leaves it or whatever. But stuff like that, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go. Now, mind you, when I'm walking around, like when I'll be doing
Yeah.
laundry at, 10 o'clock at night. I'm not
Yeah.
concerned for my safety, like at all. But
Right.
it's stuff like that, the entitlement of not thinking about the effect of the fact that you have interacted with somebody else. Like every time that we interact with somebody, we are exchanging energy, and
Correct.
those people
You
have their
leave
own lived
pieces of that.
experiences that they're
Yes.
processing. So it's important for us when we're interacting with other people to honor one what they're saying, but also that I could be perceived as a threat, especially if you a man.
Right. Right.
So I did not like that at all. So of course
Fair.
I talked to the owners all that. They apologized profusely and all that, and that's great and that's wonderful. But also, I don't know. There's too
Can't
much.
rock.
It's I don't know. It was too
Yeah.
easy for him to find his way down here. And it's not like, there's a lock, on the stairs or
Right.
something for him. Like, but it
Yeah.
was too
To get there.
easy for him to find his
Like,
way
how did he
here.
bypass y'all to get to
It's
me?
four other apartments in a main house that had to be passed for him to get all the way back here. No, it's a no. It's a no. It's a no for me. So, in addition to everything that's been happening in the world, and
Right.
knowing that I missed the rapture, and then also stranger danger at my door.
And knowing I missed the rapture. Well, look, I'm gonna give you a word, right? So if ever you're in danger, especially in a Spanish speaking place, and Bianca can
uh,
attest to this,
what?
you just yell out rojo.
Roll? Red? What? What?
So we were in Santa Marta, right? And so we're
Okay.
in the water, we're out in the ocean. Our stuff is on the beach, like, far away from us. And so there's this guy kind of walking around. And I was like, I don't know, like, do we need to go back to our
Mm-hmm.
stuff? Like he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
close. Like I don't really know what's happening. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of
Mm-hmm.
wandering or whatever. And so the Bianca goes, well, if he does, we'll just yell Rojo. And
Ma'am, what is that supposed to do?
like, are you like,
She's trying
she
to
was
say
saying
fuego.
to stop. Like,
Oh,
the
to
stop
stop?
sign is red. So it's the
Lord Jesus. Now, see, that's that
I'm like,
ADHD child. She done skipped 17 levels to Rojo. I thought you was going to say fuego for fire. You know, that's what they tell us to
no,
yell
that's what
fire
they do
instead
tell
of
you to
help.
yell to say fire instead of help. But yes, because you said just yell rojo. I was like body, like stop,
Bianca in the
like
comments talking about snitch. Oh, the tool shed said this Indian neighbor did that and pissed me off. Don't just open my door and walk in.
exactly.
I
And
can't.
part of that may be cultural. Part of
And
that
that's
may
a
be
problem for
cultural.
me.
But
And that's a
still,
big
like,
ass problem for
oh,
me. And I do know that some of it is cultural because even like when they greet people,
mhm,
because when I gave him the charger, he was like, oh, thank you so much.
right,
Back up,
right. Your
back
spits on
up,
me. Your spits on
back
me,
up.
sir.
Like, ah. But I understand that some of that is cultural, but also that's the issue because you
Right.
are not entitled to
You
my
don't have
body.
that
My
level of access
affection
to
is steeped
me,
in
my space.
patriarchy
Right.
and colonialism. No.
Back up.
Side
Back.
note, the other thing that happened is Asada Shakur went on to be with him.
Yes,
Now
she
she did
did.
make it to the rapture.
You know
Now
she won.
she got
She
caught
made
up
it. Mm-hmm.
and got on out of there free and liberated
Amen.
and you know didn't have to live this the life that they wanted her to live in prison. So that was also interesting because she's somebody that I actually have really been studying
Mm.
to understand because I feel like my situation is very similar, you know, to
Gotcha.
understand what life is like when you have to walk away from everything
Mm.
and you have to walk away from everyone because people, and mind you, at that time they couldn't just hop on the Zoom call, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
like what are the ways that you have to process I am leaving this life behind.
Yeah.
And so that's also had me thinking about a lot of things because I don't know why. And I'm not talking to y'all clearly that's watching this because y'all are here and you're watching this and you clearly understand that I be in places. But people be like, I don't know where Kimberly is. I haven't talked, child. I talk to people in the US all damn day long, all day long, all the time. So if you have a pre-existing relationship with me and you have not talked to me, that means that you have not made an effort to talk to me. That's what
Mm.
that means. I am not unreachable. Even as I'm closing ways that people are able to access me, I have still left breadcrumbs for you to be able to access me. So if you want to
Mm.
have access, you're able to have access, but also understand.
Not the forehead tap.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Eh.
I need y'all to know that. I need y'all to know that. And I also need people to understand that the level of knowledge that I hold inside my brain is not something that was just happened by happenstance.
Mm.
Happenstance. Like I have
Right.
put in many years and
Yeah.
hours and dollars
Yeah.
into developing this brain that I have. Stop
Mm-hmm.
asking me for shit for free.
For free. And I tell that to like clients of mine too. Is like, and I have to tell it to myself sometimes. Like that's honest. Of just valuing the knowledge you have because you didn't get that for free.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just, oh, it only costs, I don't know, it's $50 to make this document, whatever. But how much time did you take? How much education was required for you to be able to create this document for them? Because if they could
Correct.
have done it, they would have. So they need to pay
Correct.
you for the knowledge and experience that you have in all of this time in order to do that for them. And I don't know that
Correct.
people always honor that, and especially with people that they know. Um, and that's hard for people who have those skills to do that with people they know because it's like, oh, well, it's my, great grandma. Wrong, what I mean. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
am I gonna charge my great grandma to do her website? It's like I might just do her website because it's my great grandma. But at the same time, what is that boundary? Like, where do you put that cutoff?
Right.
And like, you should not feel bad for setting that boundary and saying like, hey, I can help you with XYZ, but this piece,
Mm-hmm.
there's a cost
Mm-hmm.
associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
My time
Mm-hmm.
to do this is valuable. And if I'm doing this for you, I'm not doing something else that I could be getting paid for. So
Correct.
it's like
Correct.
finding that
Correct.
balance and sharing
Yeah. And also realizing that if you're not on the VIP list, the
that.
answer is no,
Right.
bro. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, there are certain people in our circles that is like, okay, yeah, cool, bet. I'll do that, no problem, whatever. Because also, it's an even exchange, it's a barter.
Right. The
But
reciprocity is there for sure.
on the strength of, I used to know you in school, get out of here. Here's my calendar link where you have
You
to pay
haven't
before it even
spoken to
puts you
me since the
on the
last thing
calendar.
you asked me to. You haven't spoken to me since the last thing you asked me to do for you. This feels real transactional. This feels like you
Blocked
only talk to
is
me
what
when
that
you
looks
need
like.
something,
Blocked. That's
which
that's
is,
what's been happening.
and I will say that is hard for me though because I don't. That's not my natural way of being because I'm also not like keeping this checkbook. I just want to rely on the strength of the relationship and bonds that I have with people that it's like, okay, it is going to be a two-way street if I get to the point that I need that, but I think more times than not, you find out that that's a one way highway. Like,
Yeah. And I ain't with it. So I've been one of the things I did this past week was hosted a training about we did energy audits and
mm-hmm,
we talked about the things that are draining our battery that we
mm-hmm,
may not necessarily be very conscious of and aware of. But one of those is like I feel like I have these channels that are still, you know how if you had something plugged in the house that's just been and you ain't used it in forever, let's unplug some of this shit
right,
because
right,
we just phantom power
why,
is just leaking
right,
out, you
right,
know. So yeah, so all of that is wearing my damn brain out, is what I said. All that to say is my brain is tired as hell. And I really had to take some time to look at my calendar because one thing I'm really good about calendaring is the shit that I gotta do that involves somebody else.
uh-huh,
When I'm not good at calendaring is the shit I gotta do for my own damn self. So I'm trying to shift that because that is what I need to be most important. And then the rest of this can fit in where it can fit in. But right now I'm fitting myself into my own calendar. And so
right,
that is not honoring myself. So that's kind of where I am because I feel like I'm on the not the cusp of burnout, but when my brain starts feeling like it's swelling,
mm-hmm,
I know that I done
yeah,
crossed over into, hey, nah,
hey
we
girl,
need to do something different.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's what most of my energy has been going to. Tusha said people be just draining. People are incredibly draining. And I
yeah,
remember I am a life coach. I coach teachers. Like I am talking
you're
all
peopling all day long,
day.
yeah,
All day
yeah.
long.
And because
Okay.
that's what you
So
do,
the
the
other
people
thing,
that you're not in a professional capacity to do, sometimes they still expect that same level of interaction from you.
correct. And I cannot do that. And I cannot do
Yeah.
that. Like when I be finished working, my last meeting is usually between 7 and 8.
Hmm.
But I've been talking for
Right.
hours before
Right.
that, like about
Yeah.
different. I'm popping into
Yeah.
a state, if you will, like what's going on in your school system. Okay, great. All right, try to do this. I hope that works. All right, popping into another state. All of that shit is a lot. So the biggest thing during this time that I've been trying to figure out as far as like the calendaring and all that, but also I have to have a discharge routine
Hmm.
to give send all that energy back to where it goes
Hmm.
because I am so empathetic, because I am, I care, I know so much and I've seen so much and I understand what is about to happen. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to proactively, do as much as I can to stabilize these teachers so these children are right. I cannot hold that. Like I really
Yeah.
have to just here you are, you have me in full for this 30 minutes and after that we're done here. So
Right.
I've just been trying to do a better job at that because my brain is tired as hell. Like I
I
be getting
bet.
off that call and I be sitting here stuck for like 2 hours. Like I can't
Yeah.
even move. I can't eat.
Just
It's been 2 days this week. I didn't eat dinner because I was just like,
eat, sleep.
I just,
I'm gonna stop. Yeah.
and that was after sitting here until 11 p.m. and
Right.
asking myself since 8, are you gonna eat?
What we gonna
Do
do?
you have
Right.
something to eat? How much that's gonna take? Do you want to do this? You could just drink some water. You
Like
want a
just the
peanut butter
mental
jelly
piece
sandwich?
of even figuring that out. Like,
Sick of the
and then
shit.
that's when you say,
Sick
I'm
of
gonna
it.
go to bed. I'm gonna go lay down.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna,
drink some
I'm
water and I'm
gonna
gonna close my eyes because I'm done
go
now.
lay down.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a
So that's what's
somebody who
been
described that too. Like she works, you know, customer service, constantly talking to people all day long. And I forget what prompted the conversation, but that was where we were. And she's like, I just after that, I don't want any kind of auditory stimulation. She's
at
like,
all.
I don't
Hush.
even want an audio book. Like, give me a real book. Cause that's what we were talking about. I was making recommendations for books and I was like, just depending on what you do, if you want to do it, listen to it in the car on the way home. And she's like, when I'm not working, like I want the sounds to stop, and I really appreciated that she knows that and that she's identified that, and I know for all of us, that is some work that can be done to say, okay, like what actually helps me cleanse
Mm-hmm.
that energy,
Mm-hmm.
cleanse that energy and just
Mm-hmm.
get that out, if it's
Yeah.
like cord cutting, sound baths, meditation, take a walk, masturbate,
Bubble.
do whatever you got to do. Like, get it off. Like, get it off and get it
Yeah.
out. Because, yeah, it's definitely, it stays in your body and your body holds on to that. And
Yeah.
it's,
So I've
yeah,
been
it's,
actively figuring out what that looks like. So I keep y'all posted on
please do.
what the process is. But some got to give, and then I also keep y'all posted. The care down here, look, Dr. Highland Jackson, because I got to move, and I'm going to end up probably getting an unfurnished apartment,
Okay.
which is going to be interesting because one, it gives me the peace of mind to know like these are my things, like I
Hmm.
don't have to be like walking on eggshells, but also there's a lot that goes into furnishing an apartment,
Correct.
so I'm keep going back and forth about it, but that's kind of where I'm leaning. So
Gotcha.
y'all keep a girl in prayer, okay? Keep a
Absolutely.
sister in prayer with the
Uplifted.
things. All right, let's shift over to our asking aunties. We would like
Hmm.
to do two today, y'all. So how about you pick one and then I pick one, and then you all can
Okay.
help us give some advice here in the chat for our folks that have written in.
Okay. Which
All
one
right,
do you pick?
you go first.
Okay. Let's go with, we want to do two. Um, I think those two are short. So then let's do, let's do water cooler politics.
Okay.
All right. So water cooler politics. This says, I'm an older conservative working in an office where nearly everyone leans liberal. My coworkers talk about their political views constantly, at lunch, in meetings, even in casual chats. I feel like if I voiced my opinions in the same way, I'd be labeled unfairly or even treated differently. It feels like a one-way street, and honestly, I'm tired of biting my tongue. How do I navigate this without causing workplace drama or worse, jeopardizing my job?
Mm. Well, I don't know that there's a way to navigate it without causing workplace drama. Especially if there's already a culture of discussing politics at work, which is supposed to be one of the things that are off limits, but politics are personal. So it's very difficult not to do that. I think that something that could be said is that it makes me uncomfortable when everyone is discussing their political views with the assumption that we all share the same political views.
Hmm.
I
Right.
think that is something that can be said. It also sounds like this environment is not necessarily aligned with who you are as a person, which makes me curious of how why you are there. When the people that are already there and the culture that is already there is starkly different, it sounds like, from what you believe.
Hmm.
I'm struggling with conservative. I don't really know what that shit means these days, to be really honest with
And
you.
it
So
is
I'm
a
also
spectrum
kind of
for
side
sure.
eyeing you a little bit because I don't really know what that means. So I'm trying to be as
Right.
respectful as I possibly can within your
With flavor
conservatism.
conservative. Right.
Correct, because it
Right.
matters.
Yeah,
Because it
definitely.
matters deeply.
Yeah.
But in regards to the crux of your question of how do you handle that, I think that you say, I don't think we should maybe talk about politics here, or this makes me feel uncomfortable. You also have the right to a safe working environment. So, I think that is fair to say. I do not think that you should just go off at
Right.
at I'm
Yeah.
sick of this shit and just I
Right,
don't
right,
think
right.
that
I would
would
not
be the
recommend.
best
Do
way
not.
to handle that at all. But I definitely think you need to figure out if this is a place that aligns with you. It doesn't sound like it does. So
Hmm.
then again, my question would be like, why are you there? And what are you willing to compromise as far as your values for a
Hmm.
dollar?
Right.
That's what I have to say right
That's
now
what
at this time.
So for me, um, like there were a couple things because one they also said in addition to saying conservative, they said older. So then I was wondering if that meant that, in both regards, that on the age spectrum and the
Mm,
political or religious, because they could mean, but they did say political. So I would say they could be conservative religiously. But anyway, on both spectrums, it sounds like they may be either perceiving themselves or they are an outlier in the
mm-hmm.
group dynamic. So that already is an odd and uncomfortable situation. My first step as someone who has worked at HR is to advocate that you do talk to someone because that feels like never, I'm not gonna say that part out loud. The it feels I don't feel you're off depending on what your political views are. That if you were sharing your views and they were counter to these quote unquote liberal views, that it would be met with the same acceptance and openness. So for me, that I would be concerned if I was an HR professional in that environment of like, okay, that is why it's kind of the let's not have that discussion here
Mm-hmm.
because if I'm gonna let you do it, then I
Mm-hmm.
also need to be
Mm-hmm.
open
Have
to
to let
letting you do
everybody.
it. And
Mm-hmm.
then you just don't know what
That's a
people are gonna say at that point. And I think people have been having a lot more conversations around the fact that this is not necessarily just a differing of opinion because my personage is
uh-huh.
not something you can agree or disagree on. I
Mm-hmm.
exist, and if
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
views seek to erase me, that is
Mm-hmm.
not just an opinion, and
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mm-hmm.
a threat. And so like that's a
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
conversation. So
Mm-hmm.
um I would definitely see why you would be concerned, regardless, liberal, conservative, what have you, if that is the environment that's going on. And I know, if this is obviously current, there are a lot of conversations that are happening outside of the workplace that I can see that they would be happening in the workplace. Um, that really having that conversation as a group, depending on what that dynamic is of like there needs to be a base level of respect, and that those conversations should be had outside of the workplace if we're going to honor each of our individuality. And I know that's easier said than done. But I would definitely say the first step is getting some outside support via your manager, HR person, um, to have them have that conversation. So that way it's not coming from you because you also, you know, that could put you in an antagonizing position or
Mm-hmm.
antagonistic position. And then two, after you've done that, if there have been no changes, to Kim's point, identifying if this is the place for you. You know, like you didn't say how long you had been there, if you have relationships with these people outside of, just seeing them or whatever that looks like. I don't know. But yeah, I would definitely say first get help with the normal channels through work to say, like, hey, what's good for the goose needs to be good for the gander.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, making the decision if it's worth it to stay in that environment if it doesn't
Yeah.
align.
I agree. I wanted to grab a couple comments. One
Yeah.
said discussing politics at work is a no-no unless you work in politics.
Mhm.
The other comment was just don't escalate the situation. You're there to work and get things done in the end with these people. So I do not crash out. That is not
Right.
going to
Yeah,
be
that's not
the
going to be
correct way.
conducive to
And when you
anybody.
say older, I don't know how much older you are. So when I say crash out, I mean do not like have a whole
Just
fit and like I said, I'm sick of this shit and this is this and that. Don't do that. But
right.
do seek support and ask yourself about alignment.
Absolutely. And I also don't
Okay.
agree. I wish we didn't say, and this isn't real life, but I just wish there wasn't that conversation that like religion and politics aren't things that we talk about because we put things on the no-no list
Mm-hmm.
that really should be upfront
Mm-hmm.
because at least people
I need
then
to
now
know
know and can
where you
choose
stand.
how and if to interact.
Yep.
Because it's like just put it if you a dick, be a dick 24 hours, and then I
Correct.
can choose
Own
if
that
I want to
shit.
interact with you. You know what I mean? If you don't
Yeah.
want to serve black people in your restaurant, put
Make
your
it
whites up,
clear.
put your whites up sign up there so I know, because I don't want to give you my money either. So thank you for telling me that. Like,
I
but I know
absolutely
that's
agree with
not
that.
where we live. But that
Yeah.
would make things a lot
Well, it'll be
clearer
there
and
soon.
cleaner.
It'll
It's
be
on
there
its
real
way.
soon.
It's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
happening. In
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
It'll be there soon. But I agree. I like to know where you stand so I know who the
Right.
hell to avoid.
Yeah.
Because it really does come down to safety. Again, politics is personal. And when
Yeah.
politics these days, we're talking about personhood. So
Exactly.
like I said, I
Yeah.
don't know what conservative means to you and for you, but
Right.
look, there needs to be an assessment of alignment, I think.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so I'm gonna choose where is the girl code
Mhm.
for my Asking Aunties submission. All right, here we
Okay.
go. Dear aunties, I'm 24, black, and trying to figure out if I'm being dramatic or if my feelings are actually valid. My roommate is in the medical field. Recently, she tested this guy I was involved with, and it came back positive for chlamydia. Here's the kicker, she never told me. I only found out later. When I confronted her, she said she couldn't tell me because of her medical license and that it was on him to tell me. But y'all, that's my friend and my roommate. Shouldn't her loyalty to me come first? Isn't there a such thing as a girl code? I feel like she left me out to dry when she had information that could affect my health. Am I wrong for feeling betrayed? How should she have handled this? And is this officially a violation of girl code or am I tripping?
Whew.
Wow.
Well. Okay, so there were a few questions in there. So,
Jeez.
okay. I mean, the easy answer for your friend is that is her professional license. Like that is her
Mm-hmm.
job.
Mm-hmm.
By law, she cannot
Mm-hmm.
violate his privacy
Mm-hmm.
to share
Mm-hmm.
that with you, right?
Mm-hmm. That's HIPAA.
Um,
That's actually what HIPAA is
yes,
that you cannot share someone's personal, private medical information according to the law.
100%. So, okay, like that's so her legal standpoint is, girl, I love you. I went to school, paid all this money, did all this stuff. I can't tell you that. So, in that regard, I can't say that she should have done anything differently around telling you about his
Mm-hmm.
diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, um, on the girl code of things, that's that has to be rough on all sides. Like I'm sure she was tortured. Like, and I'm
Hell
speaking
yeah.
for her, but I can't
Yeah.
imagine that felt good to be in that position. So I also question how she wound up testing him, like how she wound up being
And that's what
involved
I was gonna
in
say,
that
because that feels like a
procedure.
conflict of interest too. Because I would have had to like, I don't. It's
I
not
don't
called
want to know.
recusing in medicine, but
Right,
like,
but
I would have had
that
to be like, I don't need to be
somebody
aware of
else,
your personal
I don't want to know.
information.
No, thank
Correct.
you. Unless he
Yeah.
literally, like, yeah, even if he was like, but we're friends and I only trust
And that's
you,
why
it's
I have to
like,
say
dude, I
no.
don't
Cause
want
that's like
to,
going to your
you can't
friend
put
as
me
a
here.
therapist. Yeah,
Correct.
like no.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a good
Mm-hmm.
look.
Agree.
So yes, so I would say I'm sure she was tortured about being in this position, however she got in this position. Um, so I definitely understand though feeling like there was a betrayal there. And I'm trying to put myself in that situation and say, like, if I
Mm-hmm.
was the friend, what I
Mm-hmm.
would do, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I would probably be like, all right, it's STD prevention month. Let's everybody get on the
Let's
bus
all go
and go
get
on a field
tested.
trip, like, yay, Brunch, and then cross my fingers and hope everything's good for you, girl. Like, and just be like, hey, we just need to make sure we really protect ourselves, and he really is an
Because
asshole,
the other thing is like if you because women when it comes, I mean I just put it on women,
Right.
people when it
People,
comes to
yeah.
their partners.
You can't tell nobody nothing about the nigga they with. And by nigga, I mean every other person that is universal, race, gender, all the way across the board. Sorry, go
Like so, and I would want somebody to tell me, like if they had
Yeah.
information,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
want them to tell me, but everybody don't operate that way. So
No.
even if you would have been like, hey, even if she would have been like to you, hey girl, you should probably go get tested, or
You
like,
been tested lately?
when the last time you got tested, because I'd be testing people all day,
You
so
know, that's what
I'm
I
just trying to
do.
make sure that the people that are connected to me be tested. So let's all go
Just
get
go.
tested or
Friend
something,
group
you know
activity.
because it's not like she can, even if she didn't, even if it wasn't a situation where she had this medical information because of her job. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
she just knew that your partner was doing something, and
Mm.
if she came to you and she was like, hey, your partner, how you receiving that? That's a
Right.
question, right? Because you can't say you feel betrayed if you're also not the type of person
To
that
be
would receive the
receptive.
information when it's being told
Mm-hmm.
to you by your friend. So I can
Mm-hmm.
also understand her being like, eek.
Like, girl, the
uh
last time we told you he was cheating on you, you stopped talking to Mandy. You know?
So what I'm supposed to do?
Group chat no more. Like, I'm not, I like you. I want to hang out. So this makes me wonder, okay, so if if the medical license was not in play and you were that person, would you tell her? Or would that be based upon her previous
Would
experiences
I
with betrayal
tell
from her
her what I
partner?
knew?
Yeah.
I think I would, with the understanding that she would probably be pissed. I
Mm-hmm.
think I would do everything that I could to protect my friend, but I think
Mm-hmm.
I would also be prepared for my friend to feel some type of way and not be protected, but I knew that I came at it with pure
Right. I
intentions.
can't not tell you.
Um yeah, so I definitely would prioritize saying what's actually happening and telling my friend what I know, and then they can do with that information what they choose to do with that information. I've also been somebody who was stuck in an abusive relationship for 13 years, so I also understand that it's not just so easy to just get out of it, and there may be
Mm-hmm.
different things that needs to be put in place, but my concern would be my friend's health. So I
Right.
definitely would, if it wasn't a situation losing my license or something, I just had access to information, I would definitely be like, hey,
Hey,
I
girl.
need let me hold my hand while, well, let me hold your hand while I
Right.
say this.
Right.
Some things have been made aware to me, and I wanted to make sure that I told you. And I'm not judging you for whatever you choose to do, but this
Right.
this is what I know. But in a situation where the license is on the line, yeah, I cannot. I would frame it as I think that I would probably go the testing party route. I really would. I
Hmm.
probably would just be like, y'all, I be seeing some wild shit at work.
It's
Crazy out
going
here.
down. You know how they say
Yo.
Atlanta and New Orleans are number one?
Oh
Like,
boy.
woo, don't want
And
to
you
get caught up
know
like
how
that. Let's
how
go.
things sometimes be lying dormant or we don't know what's going on and stuff. Y'all, let's all make sure that we understand what's going on with our sexual health. And I will
Right.
kind of make that the conversation. Like, let's
Yeah.
make sure we're at least taking care of ourselves. We can't depend on our partners to get tested, so let's
Hmm.
make sure we're taking care of ourselves, y'all. And we got to,
Yes.
know the baseline. This is the other thing too,
Get the good
especially
baseline. Exactly.
in the day and age that we in right now, and this is me as the science teacher talking to, is that a
Good
lot of
shit.
us do not know what the baseline of our body is. So
Right.
when something goes wrong, we don't know what is going on because we're not aware of what happens when things are going right.
Right.
So I think I would like kind of wrap that in the
Hmm.
conversation. Like, we
Yeah.
really want to know what's happening with our bodies. We really want to make sure we're being responsible with our own sexual health.
Mm.
And, hopefully that will extend to us. I might, me and my partner went and got tested too,
Right. Right.
hopefully that'll extend. But I think empowering my
Yourself with the
friend to
knowledge.
be able to
Hmm.
have a baseline to know whether you are right or not. Now, if the test come back and she like, girl, I got chlamydia. Oh my.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
the good
Okay.
news
You
is
know,
that it
that's
is cured. It's curable. So you
right.
can use antibiotics.
Right.
And, what support do you need support in having that conversation with your partner? Or
Right.
now, what if the partner come back and be like, bitch, you gave me chlamydia? Oh, girl, it's too much. Take me out the group
Child.
chat. Take me
Oh,
out the
then I
group
don't want.
chat.
I'm like,
This is
oh,
why, this is
wait.
why I wouldn't be
That's
on
why
it. This
people
is why
don't.
I would have
This
never, ever,
is,
ever tested my friend's boyfriend for nothing.
and then it's your roommate. Like that's the part that I keep saying too. Like we lived, bitch. I'm gonna see you in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like
I would not have done that as the friend, but this is where we are. So, to
right,
your questions, is it a violation of girl code? I don't think it's a violation of girl code because there are legal ramifications that
right,
are in play here. So I think
right.
that we have to honor that. And I don't think it's fair to have girl code above the law.
The
Like
law,
that
right?
doesn't that doesn't
Yeah,
kind of
that
work
don't.
like that. But I also do feel how you can feel some type of way. I
Yeah,
definitely understand that you can feel some type of way about that. And I do think it would be a fair conversation to have, to say, I wish you would have been able to tell me, or there would have been some other kind of way. I don't know. I don't know. I
right.
don't know. But
Yeah,
I don't think it's a violation of girl code. I don't think that you are, let me see what the other questions were. Should her loyalty to me come first? No, it actually doesn't come to you
but the
first. Her
law.
loyalty comes to herself
Yeah,
first. Then she has to abide
the
by the law.
patient. Right.
Then our friendship, right?
Well, then the
So,
patient, then your friendship in this case.
well,
But
yeah, I meant the
yeah.
patient was
Oh, in
in
the
that as far
law.
as
Got
abiding
it.
by
Got
the
it.
law.
Got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Gotcha.
But then after all of that, then it
Then
becomes about quote unquote girl code.
get you
So
together.
I don't think no, I don't think that the loyalty to you should come first. I also think that in her loyalty to herself, she shouldn't have never put herself in this situation because you
In that
just don't
position
know
because
what might have happened.
I don't want that answer.
Okay, is there such a thing as girl code? Yes, there is a
Yeah.
thing as girl code. And I think girl code, like I said, if there weren't, like we both said, if there weren't legal ramifications, I think
Hmm.
girl code would be, hey, this is what I know. But that also depends on who you are as a person, because you might be somebody that can't nobody tell you nothing. And if you
Right.
somebody that can't nobody tell you nothing, then girl code doesn't apply here at all, because even if I was
You
following
don't.
the code, I can't tell you shit anyway. So
Right.
you know so then the other, am I wrong for feeling betrayed? How should she have handled this? We addressed that.
Yeah.
And is this a violation of girl code, or am I tripping?
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got. You have
Whew.
anything else? Child,
I
that's rough.
mean, that was a lot. And I'm sorry you went through that. I'm happy that you found out, however, because hopefully her partner told her, but I don't, we didn't really get that either. But that is a very impossible position to be in. I do hope that you and your friend do have a conversation about it, and that you are open, to hearing that yes, there is a distinction between my job responsibility and our friendship and my duties to you, um, and participation in girl code, and understanding that those there are differences there. Um, and then just kind of identifying what can be done to go forward to hopefully rebuild that trust, because I do feel like you probably feel like now there has been a breach of that, but
Mm-hmm.
just being active and intentional on how to rebuild that, in the light
Mm-hmm.
that there really wasn't another way that she could have handled,
Right.
outside of not putting herself in it, that she could handle that situation.
Yeah.
um,
And I'll also add to this, I think this will be a good time to do, as Bianca would say, a DTR, define the relationship.
hmm
What does girl code even mean to you? What does that
right,
even mean? What does that look like? What are your expectations when it comes to how you want your
right,
friends to show up for you?
right.
And how are
Are
you
they
going to
aware?
show up for your friend? Right. Y'all got to have that conversation about what that looks like and sounds like. And if anything like this were to ever happen in the future, like what are the things that you all want to have in place to preserve your friendship so that
Yeah,
you don't wind up in this situation again? I think that's important because I do feel like there are probably some assumptions that are living here, especially when it comes to this abstract concept of girl code. That shit means something different to everybody else.
to
So
everybody.
we have
Yeah.
to define, what that means. The other thing I was going to say is please use protection.
Please.
Please use protection when you are having sex with people that you are not in a committed relationship with, that you all have a regular testing schedule. Okay. And I do think that a regular testing schedule should be a part of any sexual relationship. Every
hmm
6 months, we should be getting tested. And then you can celebrate and have all the wildest kinky sex you want to
You
have that
know?
we know that we clear and got our papers.
Right.
But we really don't be knowing what
Right.
people are doing. And
Yeah. Even in
also,
committed relationships, it's a
correct.
risk that you're taking. And I think, like you said, having routine checks at
Yes.
least protect you in
Yes.
that
And
regard. Yeah, the
and
answer.
correct. And that way you'll know your status. You'll know again, you'll have your baseline for what things look like. So once you and when you have a testing routine in your relationship, it's not a big deal. It's the six
Right.
months. It's time for us to
Yeah.
go get tested. Like we
Let's
do
go.
this.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be an issue. And if it becomes an issue, well, now you know that, okay,
Right.
this doesn't align
Something's
with what I
right.
need for my own sexual health, right? So I think, and you're 24, so this is me at 44
Right.
saying this, right?
Right.
I was not doing this at 24, so I do think it is important to establish that now, and especially now because there is
hmm
so much less information that is going to
Girl.
be given about bodies, less information to, or less access to sexual health care, and like all of that. So I do think it is a really important time for you to take charge of your own body and your own sexual health, and make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do to protect yourself, because you cannot rely on somebody else to care more about your health than you do.
Exactly. And even
Yeah.
understanding that sometimes the information that's out there, like you said, is inaccurate. I mean, for the longest, they said HPV wasn't sexually transmitted and that it
Mm-hmm.
was just a
Mm-hmm.
woman issue. So men
Mm-hmm.
would be like, women,
Slinging
that it
dirty
was,
dick all
yeah,
to
all
here
over the
and
place because
fro.
it had nothing to do with them. And it's like, wait,
Yeah.
that's not real. And then what did they just say the other day? They just came out and lied about something the other day. So
Mm.
it's so important, not just in this regard, but in everything. Just the amount of research and information that you're collecting for the things that are important to you. There needs to be some intention behind that. It can't just be a, oh, I heard this, or the unfortunately the Department of Health and Services said it. Like we can't even believe that now. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there
Right.
are legitimate professionals and experts in the field, like that
Correct.
is where you need to get your information from and where you should vet that. So there should be some healthy curiosity and like research that's done in this time.
Yes. 1,000, 1,000,000 times over. Okay. So hopefully, you got that worked out. You got the medication, the access to the medication or
Mm-hmm.
antibiotics that you might have needed, and your partner sending you the best. Feel free to send us an update.
Please.
If you need additional support, or to let us know, how things shook out. And thank you for sharing this
Trusting
situation.
us
I
with that.
promise you're not the
Hmm.
only one that's
Right.
experiencing this. It might be with the HIPAA twist, might be,
Right.
but
Right.
outside of like having a partner who may or may not be respecting the relationship or dealing with sexually transmitted infections, that is a thing that is way, way, way more common than
Hmm.
people talk about.
Yeah.
So we want to try our best to destigmatize those conversations so we can be proactive in those
Yeah.
conversations as opposed to reactive and trying to, troubleshoot things on the back end. So let
Right.
me see if we have any comments here. Bianca said, that's a dicey one. That's not a violation of girl code, but feeling betrayed is understandable.
Mm.
The tool shed said, you get a test, you get a test, you get a test. Define the relationship. Good idea. Can't
Uh-huh.
trust experts now in this administration. Bianca said we having a
Child.
testing party. Yeah. So I think a testing party is a good idea anyway.
Yeah,
Instead of going down
anyway.
there to them people brunch and spending all that money on that
Mm.
grass wall, let's all of us meet at the house and
You
have a
know,
brunch
here's
and
some
have a
swabs,
testing party.
some
You know?
charcuterie boards and pass the
You could do
swabs out.
pregnancy
Like,
tests too. That's what the kids be
two,
doing. Not, I watched Jenny in
but they
Georgia.
do mysteries of them though, so that's a little scary. You watched, oh, I never saw that.
You never seen Jenny in Georgia?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love Jenny in Georgia so much. It's about
Oh,
this little girl. So Jenny is it? Yeah, Jenny is a little mixed girl, and her
uh-huh,
mama Georgia is white,
uh-huh,
and her mama Georgia is so wild. Like she's had to do so many things to keep Jenny and her little brother safe.
uh-huh.
And it's wild shit. Like it's real, real wild. But the
Oh,
reason that I love it is good though. But the reason I love it is because it gives the perspective of what the kids are going through and how the
mm,
parents' decisions impact the kids and how parents
mm,
put a lot of responsibility on children to hold things that they should never hold.
not to them.
But she's doing it with the best intentions per se to protect the
Always.
kids, but it's causing
Mm-hmm.
harm the whole time. It
Always.
discusses self-harm and when you're estranged from family, like the themes that are in it are really, really good. But the
Mm.
reason I brought it up is because there's an episode where they all did a pregnancy test together in solidarity, and
Uh-huh.
somebody wound up pregnant that they didn't know that they was pregnant. So
Child.
now what we do?
The
So anyway, said all that to say testing parties all around.
testing
Okay,
parties for
that's how we know.
everybody.
It's always better to know than to not know. It's
Yes.
always better to know than to not know, because at least when you know, you can do the things you need to do to protect yourself, to protect other people, to get the appropriate medical care that you need. It is always better, and I'm talking for anything, whether it's diabetes, hypertension, is always better to know than to not know. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, she
Anything
said
else
that's it.
before we move
I'm
on?
gonna
Just
keep it.
got to put
Okay,
it
go
out
ahead.
there. Okay, cool.
I'm team
So y'all,
team.
that's that's it for today, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Remember that we are here every 2 weeks. If you want to be a part of the live, we start at 11 a.m. on Sundays, Colombian Standard Time. It's going to be on Central Time until November. Then after that, it'll shift. But Colombian Standard Time, 11 a.m. every other Sunday. So we'll be back. What's our next date?
October the dun, dun, do a little dance, make a little love.
It's you and this filling in music while you find that. Every other Sunday at 11 a.m., you can be in the live chat. So then you can ask us questions, you can talk to us, you can do all the things with us in the chat as we're talking to everybody. What's the next date?
October 12th will be our next show.
October 12th. That is Indigenous Peoples Day. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens
What
during that
happens?
time in regards to all of the things that are happening in the United States of America. So, as we mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that you are connected with us on all the
Yes.
places that matter. So,
Yes.
please follow us at Minding My Black Ass Business on all the things. I also do want to share if you have an asking auntie that you want to submit because you want to hear what we and our audience have to say, you can go to tinyurl.com/askingauntie and then you can submit your scenario there. Keep in mind that it is absolutely anonymous. And so, you give us the demographic information and we kind of go from there. Give us as much information as you possibly can so that we have the context, right? But you do that by going to tinyurl.com/askingauntie. Also forgot to do the commercials this week, but hey, we're
Well,
here. So tell the people where they can find you.
you can find me on Instagram at Kawana Bear, KAWANABEAR. You can find me on Facebook at Kalonda Jackson. You can find me on TikTok for now until the billionaire businessmen take over on Content Kalonda, because at that point it will cease to exist as we know it, because they literally just did a press conference and said that those businesses will be in charge of the algorithm. So best believe everything that you need to see will be filtered. I highly recommend getting a VPN, do your thing. Or I guess we're going back over to what's the red top? The red door, the Chinese version. Like
Oh,
just
the red. Mm-hmm.
head on back over there. What else? You can find me on Visionary Executive Network on Instagram and visionaryenetwork.com for visionary executive needs. If you need a business coach, if you need help building your systems so that you're no longer working just on your business, but actually in it and knowing that you're not by yourself in that process, because it is very isolating when you're building your business and working.
Facts.
Get help.
Facts. And you all can connect with me at kimberlinjackson.com. Pretty much everything is linked there. And yeah, let us know your thoughts. Let us know the things in the comments. Feel free to give us some timestamps and things that'll help us with clipping. But we need y'all's input. What would you say
Yeah.
to our Asking Auntie letters? How your spirit is feeling these days? Like we want to know how y'all doing and if y'all are right. Okay. So, having said that, y'all, we'll be back on October 12th. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all in our inner circle and such. In the comments here, shout out to Toolshed. Shout out to Bianca hanging out with us. And we'll see y'all next time.